I'm life and business coach Samantha Sifring, and this is the Online Business Building Mamas podcast, where you learn how to build a wildly successful business from home while raising kids. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the podcast. So today I am recording this episode based on a couple experiences I had this week. So the first thing is when I was getting coached by my life coach, I was telling her, I'm in this phase in my business right now where it feels easy. And that was feeling very weird and wrong and unsafe to me. And so this idea of something feeling easy has been on my mind lately. And then it came up later in the week with an experience I had. But first, I want to talk about this concept of things feeling easy and feeling really unsettling in our business. So initially, at the beginning of this year, I set this big goal to double my revenue this year and have some really aggressive growth. And when I was with my business coach at Mastermind, she had really strongly encouraged me to just have an easy year, to set the goal as replicating what I did last year. And I was obviously excited about that, the idea of doing that. It felt so much better and not as hard and so easy and all of those things. And so I was definitely on board with that. And then when I went home to start implementing that and practicing that, I have had a lot of resistance to having things be easy. And one of the things that I came up with is that each time I make $1 million in my business, I want it to be simpler. I want it to be easier. I want it to be calmer and faster. I just want to refine how I make $1 million until I am so good at it that it's super easy, it's super quick, I'm super calm about it. Just shortening the timeline and refining the process of how. And this is a concept that I have been teaching my clients for a while in kind of a different way. And I feel like I'm thinking about it in a different way now and going to start teaching it in a different way now of replicating the results, but refining how you do it. I think is such a fun way to think about growth in your business and approach growth in your business. But I think that most of us, especially in Western culture, I can't speak for other parts of the world, but I know for sure me and a lot of you listening grew up with the idea that you had to work really hard. And to make a lot of money, you would just have to work really hard. And to make more, you would just have to work more. The amount of money that you would make was linked to how much you worked and how hard you worked. And this is a really deep belief that a lot of us have. And if we say it out loud and if we question it and think about it, we can see lots of examples that it is not true. Look around the world and you see a lot of examples of that not being true. You see a lot of things that disprove the idea that hard work equals making money. That's just not really how it works. Bringing value to people is how you make money. So I think it's really good for us all to really identify where this core belief is showing up in our business. So for some of you, you are making things harder than they need to be because you think it has to be hard for you to earn the money. And then for some of you, you're feeling terrible that it isn't hard and you're feeling really unsettled about it being easy. And I think that this is the root for a lot of you of saying things like, well, I don't know how I did it, or it was a fluke. I think so much of that is coming from it being easier than you thought it would be. I have so many clients who have had this experience where they've struggled in their business for so long, not been able to figure it out, and then suddenly it's just really easy and they make a lot of money and it's all working and it's all flowing and they completely freak out. They don't know how they did it. They feel like they can't replicate it and it can really derail them. So I want you to just notice when you do that, or if you've done that in the past, that it's coming from this core belief that so many of us have been programmed with, that it has to be really hard. And then I think for a lot of you also, if you set a bigger goal, you think that it is going to be even harder. That's just not how it works. So really question that, really be onto yourself. And I want you to know too that your business is going to feel easy sometimes, it's going to feel hard sometimes, and neither one is right or wrong. I think a lot of times we see it feeling easy for somebody else, so we're like, oh no, it feels hard for me. What's wrong with me? This should be easier. Or we just have the expectation that it should be easier sometimes, or the entitlement that it should be easier. And then I feel like sometimes we think it's going to be really hard. And when it feels really easy, we're like, nope, that's wrong. It shouldn't be like this. This isn't real. Instead of settling into, this is who I am. This is what I do. This is the business that I have. I think that I have just noticed in a lot of my peers and in a lot of my clients who have had success that's felt really easy, they've been really nervous to then try to grow or pursue more success. Or like if it's been really easy making a lot of money in Mama to CEO, they feel a little hesitant to join Simple Scaling Mastermind. They're like, I don't know, I'm not ready. Like it's coming from this place of it's just felt too easy. So I want you to investigate. Where are you in that? Have there been things in your business that have felt so easy that you've made them wrong, or you've discounted them, or you've kind of written them off as not real or not meaningful or not valuable, or like not knowing what you're doing? Get really, really curious about that. So recently when I was getting coached on this, my coach asked me, what would be hard enough to justify the money you're making? Like if it feels too easy for the money that you're making right now, what would be hard enough that it would match the money you're making? And I sat with that question for a little while and then was like, there is no answer. Like my mind was completely blank. I had no answers at all. Nothing. And I realized like there is no hard enough, because like literally this is the work I did to make this money. It's like I was trying to like come up with some rationale that like didn't exist. I earned the money and like it was easy. And there's been times in the past in my business where things have been hard, and I think that what I have done in the past for sure has lended itself to it being easy right now in this moment. Obviously, I've put in a lot of work. I've put in a lot of time to get to the place where I really know how to make money. I know how to sell my offers. I know how to get the result of $1 million. For a long time, that wasn't true, and now it's true, and it's okay for it to be easy. So wherever you are, I want you to apply that as well. So then, after I got this coaching, after I was like, okay, maybe it might be okay for it to feel easy, I was at an NBA game, and I have never been a sports fan at all. Like, I'm really not into any sports. I didn't really play sports. Like, it's just not my thing. I got like a D in PE class. Like, I just really don't understand how sports work. And my son, my 12-year-old, recently got into basketball, and he is so passionate about it. He's gotten so excited about it. And like, we're not a sports family at all. We watched no sports. We didn't even watch the Super Bowl Like, not even for the halftime show, which I know. Don't yell at me. I'm going to find it. I'm going to watch it. But we decided, because he's gotten so into basketball, and actually I feel like I've been getting into basketball just watching his games, 6th grade basketball games. I've gotten like really into it and felt like I'm learning so much just watching. We decided on Valentine's Day to all go to a Denver Nuggets game. That's our NBA team here in Colorado. So we went to the game, and I was not expecting this. Like, I think it maybe is overly dramatic to call this like a spiritual experience, but I had like a breakthrough, multiple breakthroughs at this basketball game. And to the point where I was like, we have to come back. Like, I have to get like more tickets. Like, do we want season tickets? Like, I became obsessed. It's shocking. But here's one of the things that I noticed. They were doing like a warm up before the game started. They were just like, all the players were out there like shooting baskets and stuff. And the first thing I noticed is how happy they were. Like, they were smiling. They were having so much fun. And it just like clicked in my mind. These are people who make millions of dollars to play a game. Have you ever thought of that before? Like, they're playing a game. Like, they're doing something that lots of people do for fun, for their job, and they make millions. It blew my mind. I was like, how is that real? How is that a thing? And it was just like, it was almost like a mirror to myself. I was like, wait, I'm somebody that makes millions doing something that I love, that I enjoy so much, that I have practiced so much that it comes really naturally to me. Like, it's just an extension of who I am. It was just like amazing seeing more examples of that. It's like it normalized it in my brain. Like, oh, this is a thing people do. They have talent for something and then they practice it a lot. They get really good at it. They're in the top of their field and they get paid millions to do it. And it feels fun and easy. Mind blown. I had to text my best friend, Kristen, after the game. And I was like, oh my gosh, you won't believe this. And her mind was blown too. I think it was just like such a good example of the thing that I had just been coached on, that I was working through. Like, wow, it really is okay to love and have fun with and enjoy the work that you do to the point where it doesn't really even feel like work, and make so much money doing it. So that was incredible. That was like the real big breakthrough around being okay with things being easy and there not being such a thing as too easy. Because here's the real truth, like, things might feel too easy sometimes, but sometimes they're not easy. And I think when we're saying things are too easy, we really diminish what we did to get where we are. So that's the big takeaway from the basketball game, from the coaching that I got recently, from the breakthrough that I had at the basketball game. And I really want you to take some time to sit with letting it be easy. And I want you to look for opportunities in your business to make it easier. I was coaching a client this week and she was like telling me something. And I was just like, what is an easier way to do this? She was like telling me some really complicated thing. And I was like, no, like, how can we make this so much easier? And so I want you to ask yourself that. I want you to be open to things getting easier. I want you to be open to things being easier. And I want you to be on the lookout for times when you're making it hard, when it doesn't need to be hard. All right, everybody. I hope you have an amazing rest of your week, and I will talk to you here again next week. If you like this podcast, I want to invite you to coach with me over in my program, Mama to CEO. There's you And there's the consistent income you want to make in your business, and I help you remove everything standing in between. It's lifetime access for mastering your marketing, sales, time, and everything else you need to have the business and life you really want. Whether it's making your first 1,000 or 100,000, I can help you do it. To join, go to mamatoceo.com, MAMATOCEO.com.